to sum schizophrenia up briefly, it's pretty much like having a nightmare while awake. That's literally the best description you can give of it. Plus, you will get a lot of voices which will control you 100%. It is extremely difficult to put up with. The thought of being able to hold down a job while having this illness, well, that it's going to be tough, especially in the initial stages, because trust me, like if you're having the experience of like a nightmare while awake, how you're supposed to interact with people at work, it can be very difficult. Anyway, I firstly got this illness, schizophrenia, 20 years ago, and I said the day I got it, I was moving over to London to take up casual work, and I woke up in what was a literal living nightmare, all to do with God and the devil. It was extremely distressing and traumatic. I was getting messages from the spirit world, from God above, to fulfill certain spiritual tasks, but at the same time being tormented by the devil. It was extremely tough, and I was in a sense, in a spiritual labyrinth when I was over in London at that time. I had to fulfill certain spiritual tasks and do right by God, and I did get quite a lot of things done, but after about 3 days of being in this intense psychosis, I ended up getting admitted to a psychiatric hospital. But trust me, medication did not relieve the symptoms I was having. I was suffering from severe spiritual paranoia. Anyway, I got discharged from hospital, and then for the following 5-6 weeks, I was carrying on with this distressing experience of schizophrenia. It was extremely disturbing and distressing. To convey how tough and how distressing it is and how bizarre it is. Look, I come from a middle-class background, but because of schizophrenia, I was sleeping on the streets in London, around by Victoria Station and parks in West London. That's how tough schizophrenia is. I was in a parallel world at the time. It was extremely tough. But anyway, by 5-6 weeks into this experience, I was going through a tough time. I returned to Dublin. I was in and out of psychiatric hospitals for the following 2 years. I was still suffering from a lot of spiritual paranoia and disturbance. But luckily, I came across medication. Antipsychotics did not resolve the problem. I was suffering from spiritual paranoia, and I was very lucky to come across the Catholic lay organisation, the Legion of Mary. They helped me to get my feet back on the ground big time. They really helped me, and I have a debt of gratitude towards them. I did recover. I did get a level of recovery, and I've been doing a lot better since then. I have had ups and downs. I've had tough times, but I tell you, faith helped me so much. So if you're going through this distressing experience, I have to get through to parents. Don't be dismissive of what your son or daughter are going through when they're talking about spirituality, faith, and all to do with God and the devil. Trust me, there is truth to this, and they need as much help as possible, and that help is faith.